Hey YouTubers, this is your boy Amari Points here, bringing you the latest movie review. So today I'm doing my latest movie review on the new Netflix original movie, Wish Dragon. And I just actually finished watching this movie, and let me tell you, it was pretty enjoyable. I loved it, every second of it, but the story kind of seemed similar to a very familiar Disney animated movie that we know and love, aka Aladdin. But I digress. This movie is about a young man named Din, who's played by Jimmy Wong, who's kind of having like a rough life. But when he finds this wishing dragon that's found in the teapot, named by the name of Long, played by Jimmy John Cho, I hope I got that right. His life turns upside down, but I digress. This movie is definitely a fun movie. I would recommend to everyone who honestly had seen Sony Pictures animation movies. So I'm gonna start off with the positives and negatives first. First off are the positives. I loved how they actually had a great cast in this movie. The actress that played the main character, Lin Na, she's perfect. She was definitely well cast, and I love how she's playing Din's love interest, the girl he's trying to impress. I mean, and that's just pretty heartwarming and really heartfelt for sure. And let me tell you, this movie, and she is definitely hands down perfect. Another positive is, well, how it's basically just telling the story of how Din just wants to impress the girl and honestly basically make her fall in love with him. It's kind of like it's again, like I said, it's somewhat like Aladdin in a way, but a different version of it. But still, it was worth checking. It was worth watching. Definitely, just telling the story of things always how things always work out. How things always work out by just being yourself and don't pretend to be something you're not. Again, similar to Aladdin, but again, way different. And what else I can say is that the graphics in this movie were spot on perfect. I really loved it, and it was just an enjoyable movie to watch. How and I love how like they basically just took their time to make sure this movie was spot on perfect and everything. And on to the negatives. The first negative is like the villain. I think the one thing that bothered me about this villain, I'm not sure if most of you saw the trailers for this movie, Wish Dragon. One of the villains is always having his hands in his pocket. That kind of annoyed me. It could have been better if that the villain didn't have his hands in his pocket, and also he was kind of like a sort of weak villain, but definitely similar to Jafar from Disney's Aladdin. He just wants power. He honestly just wants power and just will do anything to get it. Actually, but again, that's one of the problems I had was the villain. It was kind of lacking, and also another negative I had was just, well, how Lin Na's father, technically wasn't in the movie that much, and I wish he was. I wish he was in the movie more and more often. And basically he could and basically I just wish that he was more fleshed out. And that's it for my positives and negatives. On to the rant. What I can tell you about this movie is that it's just one of those movies that Sony Pictures Animation really did well with, and how they just made sure that, well, Dean got the girl and everything, and how he just and how Long, he at first, as the movie progressed, he didn't really like humans that much, And basically we get to know how he became a wish dragon. His backstory is well explained in this movie. I can't tell you how. I can't tell you like how his story happened, but when you see the movie yourself, you'll see how he became a wish dragon and and how why he's the way he is, why he's so grumpy and arrogant and much more. But he's kind of like, again, Long is kind of like Genie in Disney's Aladdin, but a different type of version of Genie. Way different. Genie is sort of like a real friendly guy, but Long, he's kind of like arrogant. He honestly just doesn't want to have nothing to do with humans, and just wants to go to the heavens. But as but there is again there's one similarity to Genie and Long. They both give three wishes to their masters, and well they just and I can't talk today. I'm sorry, and those three wishes have to be chosen wisely. So yeah, but again, this movie is just perfect, and definitely a movie I would recommend to people who honestly just want to see animated movies like this. It was just, it was for sure, it was for sure a movie that I would watch over and over again. But again, it did have problems. It did have some problems, but I learned to look past it and just well have a fun time with this movie. And let me tell you, I sure as heck did. I sure as heck did have a fun time with this movie. Definitely a movie I watch on Netflix. If you have Netflix, for sure, for sure watch it. Give it, for sure watch it. Have a fun time watching it, and just just I can't talk. I'm sorry. And just have a blast. You won't regret watching this movie, because I myself had doubts when I heard about this movie. But as soon as I watched the movie, I had a blast watching it. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was just enjoyable, and it definitely had some heartwarming moments that will definitely make you cry. I can fully vouch for that. I cried a little on some parts of the movie. I really did. And let me tell you, this movie will this movie will for sure make you cry. You have to you have to check it out. Have a fun time. Just enjoy yourself. Get some popcorn and watch it. And trust me, you won't be disappointed by the cast or anyone in every. I can't talk. You won't be disappointed by the cast. That's all I'm trying to say. You really won't, because this movie is full of heartwarming moments that you'll treasure forever. And that's it for my rant. On to the rating. I give Wish Dragon a solid B plus. I'm sorry, a solid B plus, because it was definitely a fun movie that I really enjoyed. Even though it had similarities to Disney's Aladdin, I looked past it and still had a fun time in enjoying it. But the villain in this movie was kind of weak, and I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really enjoy the villain. The villain could have been better, in my opinion. In my opinion, the villain could have been better. But all in all, still a fun movie. You will want to watch it. And Sony Pictures Animation really stepped up their game this year, considering we had Mitchell's versus the Machines this year, and now this movie. I get the feeling that Wish Dragon might get a sequel. I cannot say, but if it does get a sequel, I am hands down for it. I am hands down for it. I will watch the sequel, and when it happens, I am going to enjoy myself. And also, the one thing I loved most about this movie is that Jackie Chan produced it. The legend himself. He produced this movie, and I knew I was gonna like it as soon as I watched it, because the legend himself, Jackie Chan, produced it, and he's Jackie Chan. We all love him and know him well. And know him well, of course. And yes, all in all, watch this movie. You'll have a fun time, and just enjoy yourself. And that's it for my movie review, guys. Don't forget to like, comment down below on what you thought of the movie. Subscribe and share with everyone you know, and press the little notification bell at the bottom of my video to get notified when my next movie review is going to be. And sorry to say, you can't follow me on Stardust anymore because they officially shut down. So yeah, no more reactions on there. I will see you guys soon. Take care and God bless. Peace.